Pregame.com.
Dolphins at Patriots. AFC East battle. New England opened up 10.5-point favorite. Total 48. Lines down to 9.5. Below double digits at home. Total still hovering at 48.5. Look ahead at the Hilton was 10.5. That's what they brought it out at. But immediate sharp money came in on the dog. This one's my best bet. I'm going to pass on the side for now and go after that total. I think we got a ton of value on the under. I think it's going to get the 49 hopefully when the public gets involved. Rumor has it sharps are looking at the under, but public money outweighs wise guy money, and this game should be no different. I think the public will come in on the over. Here's why. New England's scored 31 or more points 6 straight weeks. Okay? You look at Miami, they've gone over 2 of the last 3 games, but when you go a little further back in their last 8, those were the only 2 games that they went over. When these two played in the first week of the season, they scored 62 points. But there was only 21 points scored at halftime, and then the floodgates opened. So I think, there's going to be that perception that they were able to score all those points then. They should be able to score all those points now. Moore's having a better season than Henne would have had, I think, especially of late. More importantly, here's the bottom line. New England has allowed 422 yards on the ground in the last 2 weeks. Miami has rushed for 572 yards in the last 3 games. Miami's going to run the ball. Not only are they going to run the ball, they're going to have success running the football. They don't want to get in a shootout again. You saw what happened in week 1. That's not how you're going to beat the New England Patriots. So if anything, you kind of want to leave Tom Brady and company on the sidelines in this cold, cold, cold December weather in New England. And to me, it looks like easy money as far as an under goes. And it's scary to play under with the Patriots, especially at home, where we expect them to score 30 points. But I don't think that's going to happen, especially against this Miami defense. And Miami may have nothing to play for as far as playoffs and postseason goes, but this team is as motivated as anybody to win. I watched that game against Buffalo last week, and they were having some fun. They were playing some football, and that was as bad of weather as you're going to get. And for them to play the way they did, I think they're going to show up. I think they're going to want to, give New England a loss. Will that happen? That's a different story. But I do think this team's is there to try to win. And more importantly, that leaves the back door open, and you have a play on the side. Yeah. Or a lean for now.
Yeah, I like the Miami. Dolphins 18-7 as a road dog the last 4 years. And you mentioned the opening game, they gave up 38, I believe, to New England. That's 12 points more than they've given up to any other opponent all season long. In fact, Miami's held 8 of their last 9 opponents to 10 points or less in the first half.
Yep.
So if you put yourself in a position like that where you play good defense in the first half, you don't get blown out of games. And that's exactly what you're looking for with a 9.5, 10-point underdog. New England, they've won 6 straight games, and they've got Buffalo revenge on deck. And we all remember how that game ended.
Yep.
I mean, that was
Brady's worst game in forever.
Worst game he's ever had. And this is somewhat, even though it's a divisional game and it's a rivalry game, it's somewhat of a sandwich game for New England because they had that big Tim Tebow game last week against Denver. A lot of hype in that game. And they got Buffalo next week. And you take a look at how they've done against Miami. The last 3 times they've beaten them by 14, 31, and 27 points.
Yeah.
And you
outscored them 79-21 last year, averaging 50 points a game and winning by 29-point margin.
Yeah, so there's not a whole lot of motivation here for New England.
There is for Miami. They got revenge.
Yep, definitely for Miami. And you talked about the New England offense. They're only 3-3 against the spread at home. They've actually performed better on the road offensively. 3-3 against the spread at home, scoring 31, 34, 20, 20, 30, and 35. So they've done pretty well at home, but their big numbers offensively have been on the road.
And would you think that Miami is a better team today than they were in week 1?
Much better.
Does that make sense?
Much better team.
And do you think New England's as good as they were in week 1, or maybe even improvement or decline?
I actually think they're pretty much what we expected. The defense isn't as good as what we thought they were
Exactly.
going to be.
But as a whole,
As
they're
a whole,
on par.
They're on par.
Exactly. And that line in Miami was 7, went to 8, I believe, back then. So add the home field advantage. Miami has one of the weakest home field advantages. And this number kind of is in line with that game. And I think Miami's vastly improved from week 1. So I have to agree with you. And I'm not surprised that, the professional bettors grabbed the double-digit dog immediately when this number came out. I'm going to go with the under. I'm going to look long and hard at the side because it makes sense if I see it if going under 48.5, being able to get plus 10 sounds good as well.
Yeah, it sounds like a correlated parlay.
Exactly.
If you like the under, you like Miami. If you like Miami, you like the under.
That's how I look at it too, because for them to cover, I think they have to not get in a shootout. They have to have success running the football, getting them out of their rhythm. So I think that's the only way to go. I think this has correlated play written all over it. That's my best bet for this week. Under in Miami, New England. I think this total may go up by kickoff once the public gets involved, pending no snowstorm or anything like that. Brian has a slight lean to the dog. I agree as well. It's going to do it for this week's NFL video. I believe I'm covering the Monday Night Football game with RJ Bell. We'll be back with more.